Yeah.
Oh, cutscene.
Drip drop. Drip drop.
We don't want no fuss and we don't want to hurt you, alright?
Yeah, we just want your money, that's all.
And you'll give
Do
it
I
to
look
us.
like I have money?
Girl, weren't you getting milk?
Echinase!
Oh! Damn, alright.
Righto.
Alright. We're probably gonna be in court.
Yeah.
What is this place? The room is lit, but it's still somehow dark, and the atmosphere feels heavy.
I was hoping the screen would just keep panning and she'd slide off the other edge.
Oh, me too.
Nick, what are we doing in a place like this?
How should I know? We're just a couple of bakers, but I don't think they brought us here to make bread. Yikes. Is it just me or is that guard staring daggers at us right now? I have to assume this is the witch girl.
Oh, okay. Wait, which?
The one we just saw being a witch.
Okay. Mr. Wright, Maya! Ah, Espella! What exactly is going on?
I conflagrated
Sorry.
2 people.
I just dropped my bucket and they exploded, you know? I'm sorry. I was the one who sent for you both.
You sent for us?
I'm being put on trial.
Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. I couldn't possibly murder anyone. Murder? I beg you, Mr. Wright, please, I need your help just one more time.
Huh? You need my help? What could I possibly do? Espella, I'm just a baker. The only thing I know about law is how not to get on the wrong side of it.
Well, you're doing a bad job, Nick. Wait, hold on a sec. Espella, what did you just say? You said you needed Nick's help just one more time?
One more time?
I'm not quite sure myself, but when the knights came to took me... a vision suddenly appeared in my mind. It was Mr. Wright. He was fighting for me, defending me. That brave blue figure. It was clear as day.
I was fighting for you? No way. That's impossible. I mean, it's like I already said. I'm just a baker. I have a hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending someone in court.
I thought the same thing too at first, but I don't think that's quite true. You and Maya, at some time, somewhere, you helped me. You fought for me as a defender.
A defender?
What's wrong, Nick?
I wish I knew, Maya, but hearing Espella mention a defender, I can't help but feel something inside me just burning at the mention of it. My bread!
Accused! Defender! It is time. Head forth, you two.
Head forth. Where are we going exactly?
To the courtroom in which today's trial will be taking place. The Chamber of Fire!
Chamber?
Of fire?
Make haste! If you are but a moment late, a guilty verdict will be delivered
God.
immediately.
Oh my god. What? No way! Mr. Wright. I'm truly sorry, Mr. Wright. I know this is all so sudden. It's a lost cause, isn't it?
Well then, let's head inside, Espella.
Huh?
This overwhelming pressure. It feels so familiar somehow. Almost like deja vu.
Mr. Wright.
Let's go, Maya. We'll have a better idea once the trial gets underway.
I was so pumped I thought I was talking. Alright, let's do it to it. What the fuck? Do it to it? I've never heard that before.
I thought you just said, let's do it, Nick.
No, she said do it to it.
It's like an oven in here.
I will now pronounce the verdict. This court finds the accused guilty of being a witch.
No, I'm not a witch. Please, I beg you to reconsider. I'm not.
Jesus.
Holy fuck. Oh my god!
No.
You want to take that again, Maya?
You want to take that again, Maya?
Court.
Holy shit! This is a Professor Layton game! So, how you feeling, Nick?
Not awesome, Maya!
Me neither!
I'd forgotten what this felt— Why are you smiling? I'd forgotten what this felt like up until now.
Huh?
The butterflies in my stomach, and tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. All of these feelings. These are feelings that I'm definitely familiar with. Anyway. We're here to fight for Espella and get her out of this place.
That's right!
The court is now in session for the trial of Espella Cantabella, defender.
Yes, Your Honor?
Yours is a face I've not seen in any past, but no matter. Start by stating your name, defender.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was my name
My
again?
name is Phoenix Wright, Ace Baker.
A baker?
I asked him to come, my lord. I want him to represent me. This court dictates that the accused is free to assign a defender of their choosing, my lord.
And you could have assigned Professor Layton and didn't?
Very well. At any rate, the result of this trial shall not change. That aside, I've not yet seen hide nor hair of the Inquisitor assigned to this trial.
Inquisitor? Oh, right. I should have noticed earlier. No one's there.
Should the assigned Inquisitor fail to appear in court, I will have no choice but to dismiss all charges. He is an Inquisitor of high caliber, but if he does not come forward soon, this trial will end, and victory will then be declared in favor of this baker.
Hold it!
It's really hard to move in this armor. Look at this fucking char-ass-nable motherfucker.
Oh my god, yeah, wow. Who's this Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Knights of the court, I have but one question for you both. Are you prepared to cross swords?
I'm prepared to cross-examine, Your Honor.
Zacharias Barnum. I'm indeed prepared to do battle, my lord.
You sound like a Last Story character.
Oh, Jesus.
Something amiss, Baker?
Sorry, Your Honor.
He has
I
a
just
sword.
realized we could have swords here in the courtroom.
It is the way of the court knight. A knight must always ensure that he rides with a blade at his side. Now then, state your name, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh? My name's Phoenix Wright. I'm a baker. How many times will they make me say it?
A baker?
Nick, quit with the long face. You look miserable.
No need to waste your breath. This trial will be over before you can utter a single objection. For the security of all of Labyrinthia, my blade shall rend your defenses swiftly and without mercy.
His hair is a fire.
Oh boy, what's with all this excitement? You'd hardly think this was a courtroom. The crowd doesn't seem very interested in law, that's for sure. It's like they're all just hoping for a guilty verdict. Alright, so how do we want to split the judge and this guy up?
Okay, I would say I'll probably be Barnum because I don't imagine the judge talks too much, maybe?
Okay.
Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement.
As you wish, my lord. First, let us begin by recounting the events leading up to the murder. Is that acceptable, Sir Apprentice Baker?
As you wish.
The murder occurred this very evening.
Turn the music up a little.
Yesterday, there was a heavy rainfall in the area. Eventually, it gave way to sunshine. I just imagine him going on a long tangent for a fucking cookie recipe. Which came in just in time for today's parade. Although a few hours after the parade ended, the rain set in once more.
That must have been when Espella and the others were at the Great Archive.
It continued to rain until just before the incident, which took place on a small path leading to the market. The accused had been out doing some shopping at the market. She returned home on that very same path. And on that forest path, two rogues named Robs and Mugs are said to have accosted the accused.
Amazing.
One could assume that the accused simply acted in self-defense.
I see. Robs and Mugs. Those two have appeared in the court a number of times in the past.
Two rogues, huh?
No, what? My finger. So far, it may appear that the accused was more the victim. However, the situation soon changed. That's right. The accused, Espella Cantabella, knowingly and mercilessly murdered her two assailants.
Cantabella? That girl, isn't she?
No, isn't she?
I always knew. Yeah.
No suspicious.
Crowds! Crowds! Yikes. There's that weird excitement again.
I believe we now fully grasp what happened. It is getting late already. Let us begin the trial. Inquisitor Barnum, you may now begin.
As you wish, my lord. The Inquisition will now hear your eyewitness testimony regarding the night of the murder.
Eyewitness testimony, huh? Looks like this trial is finally getting underway. I can't back down now. I have to fight. But I'm just a simple bread-making baker, living a simple bread-making life. There goes the baker with his tray like always. This situation is more twisted than a pretzel, and I'm smack in the middle of it. But I have to do this to save Espella. Okay, let's see if I can untwist this testimony and put this thing to bed. Oh my god. Oh right, this game has a jury.
Oh! Allow me to welcome you all. Now, would each of you please state your name and occupation?
Hold it! Wait a minute, what's going on here?
As I already explained, Sir Apprentice Baker, this is the eyewitness testimony.
Yes, I understand that, but there are 4 witnesses.
Indeed. This many people inside the courtroom could pose a health and safety issue.
Your Honor, that's, not quite what I meant. Witness testimonies are supposed to be done one by one, as in one witness at a time.
What are you talking about, child? We'd have been here all night if we did that.
That's right, young man. We have witnessed the very hand of fate reach out to us this evening.
Could we hurry this along, perhaps? I have a flower to pluck. These flowers won't sell themselves as much as my boss wishes they would.
She's very cute.
She is cute. Do you want to take her?
I do, honestly.
Okay.
You can be Nidal then. I don't know.
What do...
Here, you know what? You know who we look... Soldier 76. The path to knighthood is an arduous one, but I remain steadfast in my resolve as I travel down this long road. I shall not...
His wiggly sword!
I shall not falter. I will be victorious.
Who cares? It's question them all at once. I'm not gonna read that. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we should just make, like, moo, 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 moo noises anytime.
Witnesses, Again, state your names and occupations.
I am known as Wordsmith. But what is a name? How doth one describe an occupation? Like the bubbling of a babbling brook, I flow gracefully around the rocks and debris that is life, nary a worry in my mind. Right, so I guess that means he's jobless.
My name is Mary, and this darling kid is Snowy. Snowy and I often travel to the edge of town to sell delicious fresh milk. Milk like that doesn't happen overnight. I work my hands to the bone, squeezing each drop out, literally.
That sounds pretty frightening.
I'm Kira. I'm a flower seller. If you would all be so kind, feel free to purchase one of my beautiful flowers at any time during the trial. There's no way I'll sell them all by morning. Oh, the life of a flower girl is so hard.
Yeesh, talk about a hard sell.
My name is Nidal. I aim to join our town's order of knights. I study night and day, though I am but still a mere squire. Joining the Knights of the Inquisition is my life's ambition, and I, Nidal, will do whatever necessary to join.
So he's jobless too.
Honorable witnesses, I ask that you show this court your best when delivering your testimonies. Now, tell us exactly what you all saw on this ill-fated eve.
Oh boy! Alright, if they're all gonna talk that much, you probably should take the flower girl.
Okay.
The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated the air, and a soft light shone faintly in the distance. Oh, okay.
Muggs grabbed the girl by the arm. It looked like he almost pushed her into the ground. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those two villainous men burst into flames.
There was not a trace of fire to be seen in the area. Without a doubt, magic must have been used.
Magic.
Sir Apprentice Baker, you may now begin your interrogation.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading chat. I have but one piece of advice. I was going to read that as evidence. I suggest you pay it heed. Do not waste the court's time by grilling these witnesses over irrelevant nonsense, Sir Apprentice Baker.
Are you all right, Nick? They sure love calling you an Apprentice Baker, huh?
I'll be honest with you, Maya. I have no idea how I'm feeling right now, but I know it's all up to me. As her defender, Espella's fate is in my hands. I have to believe in her, and I need to start believing in myself. I can do this. I believe Espella is innocent, and I'll fight until the end to prove it.
Yeah, that's the spirit. We can do this thing, Nick.
Oh, you're helping? We're fucked.
We're fucked.
I like that. That's cute.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right. Okay. A soft light
He
shone.
looks like a Muppet.
Oh wow, we only have 5 life bars. Damn. Okay. Muggs was one of the 2 rogues. Is that correct?
That's right, that man, he grabbed the girl's arm and pulled out a knife. Ooh?
Is something wrong?
Oh, was it Robs that grabbed the girl and held the knife?
Huh?
Oh dear, let's see now. Muggs was the short one and Robs was the... No, I think it was the other way around. Well, it doesn't really matter which was which now, does it? How am I supposed to keep track of those ruffians?
No one was asking you to.
For the record, Muggs was the short one.
Isn't it a bit... Do I even have a court record? No, not really.
I thought that was written on a stone tablet. I was like, what year are we in?
It does look like that. Isn't it a bit premature to assume it was magic?
What an absurd statement.
Say what?
Think about it. The knaves were engulfed in flames in the blink of an eye. The blink of an eye. There was not a single trace of any other fire source to be found in the area. Not a trace.
Not a tracer.
Therefore, there is only one true explanation as to what caused that inferno.
And what would that be? Let me guess, magic, right?
There is no crime in simply not knowing, but refusing to accept the plain truth. There lies the true crime, Sir Apprentice Baker.
That is quite the crime indeed, Defender. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just have to find a contradiction in this testimony.
No way, Spella can't be a witch.
That's it for their testimonies. God.
Oh, Nick, are you feeling okay?
Up until now, my life has been all about baking. Kneading dough, rolling it, baking it, day after day, the same thing. This trial isn't any different from baking. Yes, it is. These witnesses, they're all just kind of like fresh dough.
Wait, what? It's our job to roll out the contradictions.
I don't know either. There has to be a contradiction. Contradiction! Okay, yeah, so I'm just supposed to press, because I literally have, like, nothing to work with. Alright, let's just, let's press all of them. Ah, I have to watch that fold out every time. What time would that be exactly? Dinner time. When else would the scent of dinner be in the air if not dinner time? Do you see? Not so much.
The sun had already set by that time. That should be adequate.
The sun had already set. So you clearly witnessed what happened tonight, is that correct?
I have been dubbed a witness. Thus, I must have clearly witnessed something.
Do you see? In that case, how much light was there in the immediate area at that time?
Enough to see the nose on my face, but not enough to see the trees ahead. Do you see?
No, that doesn't add up. If the area was completely dark, then you couldn't have witnessed anything. Do you see?
Nevertheless, something caught my eye. It was a most ominous sight. Ominous is what the sight was.
Okay, I get it. It was ominous.
All forms, Sir Apprentice Baker. I hate to disappoint you, but there was in fact light in the area.
Huh?
Take a look at this. This is a drawing of the crime scene based on the witnesses' accounts, as penned by the court illustrator.
The court illustrator? Never heard of that before.
Look carefully. This shows what the scene looked like at the time of the murder. Here's your little map. Oh, I love this art!
An illustration of the highest quality, as always.
Now then.
Oh shit, sorry. I double tapped.
And so naturally the defendant was carrying a fire-lit lantern, as we can see.
A lantern?
Eureka, indeed. Yes, that is what I was saying earlier. There was a lantern, I say.
Oh, please, you totally forgot.
To be honest, I did not imagine that it would be necessary to present this, but... My lord, here is the lantern in question. This is what was responsible for the light illuminating the area.
Very well. The court accepts this into evidence. Speaking of which, Inquisitor Barnum, in this drawing, the accused seems to be holding a milk bucket of sorts. What became of this?
Bitch spilled it. That is a strange case indeed, my lord. That bucket seemingly disappeared from the murder scene.
The milk bucket disappeared, you say?
There's been talk of wolves living in the nearby forest. It is thought that they often make off with the items they find on the ground.
Great. Wolves that steal your stuff. Remind me to never set foot in that forest.
This is great, Nick. We've got the new evidence now.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, Nick, you really don't look like just some normal run-of-the-mill baker. You're wearing a suit. I'd say you're more of a somewhat articulate run-of-the-mill baker.
Isn't that like, you know, that would be a fun, like, Twins in BioShock Infinite G-Man style, like, creepy weirdo character is like a dude who appears in a suit over the course of a game in jobs where it's weird to be wearing a suit, like baker, plumber, like he's just always in the same suit and says cryptic shit to you.
That is weird.
I think you might even have a knack for being a defender.
There's a clear contradiction somewhere in that testimony, and I'm going to find it. I mean, that's what we do, so it's fine. Okay, so I have to imagine it's, cry out, burst into flames. I think it's probably the lantern here, right?
Objection!
Objection!
What is the matter, Defender?
Oh, is he getting memories back?
What if he launched a fireball from his finger? What is this feeling so sudden and new? I just felt the urge to shout out "fuck you" right from the bottom of my lungs while pointing my finger. Objection. I can't help but feel that's a word I've used quite a bit in the past. That's it. Oh, there we go. That's it. I remember now. I remember everything. The legal League of Attorneys exchange, Aspella's trial, and then that strange book. This feeling. I feel like I can take on the world. Witness!
Got a wooden feel.
What's with the sudden pointing? I am a soon-to-be member of the Honorable Knights of the Inquisition. I accept your challenge. Have at you.
You say there was no fire president at the scene of the crime, but was there vice president fire, meaning the defendant must have used magic?
But ice president.
That's kind of cute. I really like that pun, actually. I want to see that used somewhere. I'm ice president. Unfortunately for you, that is not the case.
What do you mean, Sir Apprentice Baker?
What I mean is that the defendant was, in fact, carrying a lantern containing fire. Those two rogues were actually burned by the flame that was inside the lantern. That is the only logical explanation.
No. Fine. What a startling conclusion you've come to, Sir Apprentice Baker.
What do you mean?
The only logical explanation. Do you agree with this statement, honorable witnesses?
It is presumptuous for a man that knows nothing to claim he knows everything about which he really knows nothing.
Huh?
Besides, how could one teeny tiny flame be strong enough to set them both ablaze like that?
Greasy men.
There were two of them. How could that flame engulf them so fast?
Well, you see, that milk pail, that wasn't milk. It was filled with goat gasoline.
It was filled with glycerine.
Furthermore, if they did burn as you claim they did, do you mean to suggest that they were soaked in oil or something?
Oh.
Stupid. Well, Sir Blue Knight, it would seem that you have bitten off more than you can chew.
I definitely didn't see that coming.
What say you, my lord? Do you have any thoughts on the proceedings thus far?
Given the testimony as we have heard it, this court has come to its conclusion. 'Twas truly a gruesome and merciless act, an act for which only one thing could be held responsible: the nefarious crime of magic.
Who knew not magic?
Hold
Don't
it!
make me lie.
Wait just a second.
Is there something you have forgotten to mention, Defender?
Not exactly, Your Honor. It's just that, I mean, you just said magic. That can't be right, can it?
What are you suggesting, Sir Apprentice Baker? Witches use magic, which in turn brings about disaster, such as the way of this world, is it not?
Well, yeah, that may seem to be the case, but no way is that actually possible.
This court finds Aspella Contabella, the accused, charged with being a witch.
Aspella, a witch? I can't imagine given her name.
A witch's existence in this world is a crime in itself.
The ability to use and control magic is a criminal offense indeed. As such, any witch found practicing I love that they British spell all of like the C's and S's in the middle of words. Practicing magic will be sentenced to death by fire.
No, you're wrong. I'm not a witch.
Sir Apprentice Baker, I do not envy your current predicament. But haha, Nina Nina. My lord, hand down your guilty verdict against this witch immediately.
Objection! No. But there's no evidence to prove any magic was really used.
Put a sock in it, bread boy. We all heard her cast the spell.
Huh?
That's right, Snowy and I heard it. Isn't that right, Precious? We heard the incantation quite clearly. That frightening voice, there's no mistaking it. It was a speller's voice.
These ears do not lie. I clearly heard an incantation most sinister. Ignaze it went.
He is
Incantation?
engulfed. Ignace.
It's no good. I can't wrap my head around this topsy-turvy, otherworldly court.
Well, then it would seem that the defense has no further objections.
It appears so. The court finds the use of magic at the time of the murder to be an undeniable fact. Furthermore, the honorable witnesses have stated that they have each heard an incantation being recited. The court finds no reason to delay its verdict any longer.
Nick, we have to do something.
I know, but what exactly can we say? Here, in this world, our sense of logic is completely useless, thank God.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Espella Cantabella.
Hold it.
Layton! Excellent. I am the witch. I love it.
Your Honor, I request that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I am just standing here.
I have something I believe will be of use to the defense. A weapon. That's the Grand Grimoire. All of this world's magic is contained within its pick. Without it, this trial cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion. The Grand Grimoire.
Thank God.
I can't see over the desk.
This is so wrong.
We meet again, Mr. Wright. Well now, it seems things are already afoot here, although the real contest begins now. Are you fully prepared? So, are you here to help us?
Of course, the professor always helps people in trouble. It is the duty of every gentleman, right, Professor?
Professor? There is a saying that I find quite useful in situations like this. There is a time for words and a time for action. Right. You have been working as a baker in this town up until now, have you not? I must say, I am a little mystified. I'd have expected you to be more familiar with this world and its system of magic. Yeah. How can I put this? I guess that's not quite the full story. Is that so?
They're just standing on top of Maya's dead body.
Yes, I am a murderer, but it was a murder, but not a crime. I had kind of an epiphany just now. I'm remembering all sorts of things, like how I'm not actually a baker, and, well, how magic can't really exist. Then it would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are not, in fact, a citizen of this town. Is that correct? Right. At least it seems that way. However, for now, we have no option but to try and accept this world and its rules as a reality. Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to save Miss Cantabella. But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe. What the?
That was my phone, I'm sorry.
You have a yahaha's here.
Yeah, Karak is my thing. I'm surprised you've never heard that before.
That's really cute. I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, it would seem magic does in fact exist in this world. Such a truth cannot be denied. Indeed, that is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon that's well suited for this witch trial. At the moment, you are tantamount to a knight without a sword. Die.
Speaking of,
I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually.
Right then, Mr. Wright, I'll explain how the Grand Grimoire works.
Oh, okay.
Have a look at the touchscreen. There you'll see the Grand Grimoire button.
Huh. Okay. That's fun. We get to do witch magic.
ooh.
Touching the Grand Grimoire button will open up the Grand Grimoire. No shit.
You will be able to present spells from the
Gotta
Grand
run back to
Grimoire.
my place.
Alright, here I am now. You will be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial.
Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked the spell Ignace for you.
Ignis, that's the magic spell. Nick, you should take a look at that spell.
I
No
did.
fucking shit.
I think I keep doing it before it wants me to.
Stop rambling!
The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached its end.
Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. The witness's testimony, coupled with the illustration of the time of the murder, which makes it quite clear this must have occurred. This murder was the result of magic. And furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused. That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the courtroom have crumbled.
Ah! Is everything okay, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
It would seem that photographs do not exist in this world.
Photos don't exist? I guess that makes sense. Ye old time period and all.
Oh God, it's the old times. The
Of
sketch.
course, the old times.
Shall we stand and wave at a boat? The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright.
My final chance.
I understand the witnesses have already finished their testimony. However, if you could perhaps find a clear,
I get it. Please let me just play.
contradiction within this illustration.
There's another contradiction? In that case, there's still hope I can turn this around.
Mr. Wright, you have to hurry. Look, the judge.
Angie.
He looks ready to deliver his verdict at any second now.
You know who this judge, I just realized, I know he's got an actual voice and I can kind of do it, but you know who I just realized he kind of reminds me of? It's it's overworked and underproved.
No!
This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do? Point out the... Give up. Hold it! 1 second, Your Honor. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection. You are already out of time. All testimony and evidence given thus far have been proven to be accurate.
Objection! I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum. There's just one thing you've overlooked. The piece of evidence within this book.
The Grand Grimoire.
I can't do it!
Don't do it, don't.
The Grand
Bleeding my
Grimoire.
soul. Absurd. I overlooked something. You are the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier.
You're right, I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now.
Interesting. You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you!
The defender will now show us this supposed contradiction.
The contradiction. Okay. Okay. I mean, it's that she doesn't have a scepter, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll just... I don't really know exactly where to put this, but...
Maybe her milk bucket hand?
Sure. Okay.
Got it.
What? Oh, okay. The contradiction is here!
The hand of the accused? She appears to be holding a milk bucket.
Yes, but that milk bucket is said to have vanished from the crime scene. It's quite possible that there's an important reason behind its disappearance.
Inquisitor Barnum, what are your thoughts on this?
It is quite mysterious indeed, my lord. However, the Inquisition believes it bears no relation to this case. Forest Wolf simply came and stole the bucket, nothing more.
Yes, that's very logical sounding.
Let us not dwell on the milk bucket for the time being, Mr. Wright.
Rather, I know, man. I don't know where to fucking point to say she doesn't have a fucking thing. I don't know why this is like a pointing it out thing.
Granted, but be warned, you're running out of chances, defender. Guilty.
Let's try the other hand.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Okay, you were right.
Got it.
I just... Like, I don't know why they would make you present this with this format of presenting when the problem is the absence of an item. And that could be in either hand, on her person, anywhere. The contradiction is right here. The hand of the accused. She seems to be holding a lantern.
What is your point?
According to this tome, using the spell Ignazed requires the use of a witch's scepter as well as an incantation. Isn't that right?
Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as a Taila Magica.
If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Contabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of her hands? There we go. Let's see you point that sword at me now.
You did it, Mr. Wright! But wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious?
It was. I'm not sure why you made me present it using a magnifying glass. You may be right, Luke.
Huh?
It would certainly appear that the good Inquisitor is taking this particular oversight rather too well.
That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker, but you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? Holy shit. Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path.
Ah, yes, indeed, that was I. I located it. My feet found themselves ensnared in the blasted thing, and that sent me flying through the air.
Somehow I'm not surprised to hear you fell, Gramps.
This scepter does seem to carry a most sinister air.
Indeed, my lord. However, this scepter will only work while in the hands of a witch, with the incantation being said aloud.
Oh, that's too bad. I wanted to try lighting some stuff on fire.
Hey, Maya.
Yeah, I wanted to try getting sent to hell prison. Yeah, fuck it. Who
Maya,
cares?
Maya, you're a fucking spirit medium. You better shut your mouth here.
You better shut your bitch mouth.
You are essentially a witch. Please don't look at me when you say that.
You see, there are two magic gems set in this specter.
Magic
the magic
gems.
specter.
It looks like Professor Layton and the Magic Spectre. It looks like a red gem and a white gem.
These gems each contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell... I didn't get the last of that.
Sorry.
Nick, quick, look at this page.
Yeah, I figured this out, game. Oh, okay. Is that the red magic gem? Wow!
Wow! Indeed, the red gem you see here is the spell Ignace, and if you look carefully, you should notice that the scepter also has one more spell that can be used.
Transform milk bucket into scepter. One more spell. That must be the white gem.
Mr. Wright, I found it! There's a spell for the white magic crystal!
Okay.
That's cool.
Demir. Simply chant Amir. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight.
I see you managed to work it out in that crusty head of yours. Ugh.
That's just... It can't be! The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demir had made it disappear, but she couldn't be holding it.
I thought he was dabbing. That's right. In other words... The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her own use of magic.
Or the guys disappeared. No. No way!
Order! 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 Inquisitor Barnum, please submit the scepter into evidence.
Objection! I don't want him to! Hold on, please!
Is there a problem, Sir Baker?
Okay, I understand this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Contabella's possession has not yet been proven.
What are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker?
Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints, right?
They're
Supposing
gonna call you a witch for that, dude!
Supposing Miss Contabella did in fact handle this witch's scepter, then her fingerprints would still be on it. What's with this silence?
You said fingerprints? I'm so sorry.
No, they don't know in this world. You said fingies? Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this baker blabbering about?
I haven't the slightest clue, my lord. It is this baker's first time in court, after all. Are you all right, young man?
I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprinting does not yet exist, which you should have figured from the fact photographs don't exist. What? I can't believe it.
As I have said already, best you head back to the bakery, lest you continue to serve this court more of your half-baked ideas.
They're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum. Forensic science does not exist here. Instead, this is a world in which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Truly fascinating. What the heck? There are just way too many things I don't know about this world. Mr. Wright, I believe you may be able to use these things, take these things you don't know and use them to your advantage. Huh?
The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on this matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Better luck next time, Sir Apprentice Baker. Mayhap your next loaf will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection. I'll do it. Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum?
No, you may not. What's that? Who might you be?
My name is Herschel Layton. I am a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic. Is that correct?
Indeed, through the magic spell Demir.
If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim?
I would love it if he just said the other spell while holding it because it's evidence and turns out he's a witch.
That'd be great. I won't be surprised if we have to do that at some point in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility.
What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Can the Inquisition fulfill the request presented by the gentleman with the unusual hat?
The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. Oh shit. If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender.
It actually doesn't. That's not how court works.
Come on, it's the prosecution... Inquisitor's job to prove that a crime was committed. I mean, you say that, but pretty much every Ace Attorney game assumes the opposite.
As I thought. Indeed, it would appear that the accepted method of thinking in this world greatly differs from our own.
How regrettable, Sir Apprentice Baker, and you, Sir Dark Hat.
Oh, that's the wrong voice. Inquisitor Barnum, sir. Should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony.
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies. Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious?
A witch's scepter, you say?
Squeezing the life out of that.
Yes, I know of such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter.
What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject.
Very well. Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. Tell the court all you know regarding this Thalia Magica.
Ugh. We've somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Dark Hat.
Please, Mr. Wright. What, can I read your mind? Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. By the way, I'm an Esper.
I mean, we all could have guessed that.
When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
The girl had a lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain that she was gripping something.
The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once. What? She did not drop it once. She did not drop it once. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. It's just a weird way of phrasing that.
Yeah, that is weird.
I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. We saw it too. It was the girl up there, without a doubt.
I as well. These old eyes don't see as well as they once did, but I witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly.
Don't tell the court you're blind.
My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade.
A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implications of that analogy on his vision.
Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste. Okay, let's see what we got again. Okay, we got this. Okay. It's got a needle, and then it has a white gem and a red gem. Alright, yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Lantern hanging from wrist was contorted in a strange way. It's probably worth pressing. For sure she was gripping something, which was holding a scepter. She didn't drop it once before she was apprehended is an awfully weird thing to say, but... She had a lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure?
Of course we're sure. If that was in it, then how else would the girl manage to hold her invisible fuck,
I hate that word.
Ma'am, please, just testify about what you actually saw.
We just said it's what we saw. Isn't that right, Snowy?
Indeed, a handle as wide as this could be easily hung from the accused's small wrist.
Yes, that's what we were telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy's little snowball? No.
It's no good. They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter.
It seems to be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further.
Well, that's just super.
Oh wait, he said she was gripping it in her right hand. It wasn't her right hand.
Ah, thank you. That feels really obvious. Oh, I don't have the case.
Maybe profiles? Maybe? Yeah?
No. These illustrations are cute.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to press it. Let me get this straight. There was no way for you to see this invisible scepter, was there?
Well, now, that's common sense, boy. One cannot see what is not there to be seen.
In that case, there was also no way you could tell whether or not she might have dropped the scepter.
Well, these old eyes of mine honed in on her hand like a hawk until they couldn't see straight. What? The young lady was most certainly holding an invisible scepter in her right hand, while at the same time also carrying the lantern. Or do you perhaps possess some piece of evidence to suggest that she dropped the scepter?
There hasn't been any evidence so far to suggest Espella was holding the scepter.
Evidence suggesting the scepter was dropped. Now that is an interesting idea.
Huh? Oh, my bad. It was her right hand, but I guess you did press it properly.
Yeah.
If Espella did not have the scepter...
You know, like, I don't mean to point out the obvious, but if Layton is the smarter person in both the puzzle and the court segments, why is Phoenix here?
If Espella did not have the scepter in her hand...
Not that I'm against Layton being here. The more Layton is here, the more I enjoy this game. But,
it would have been impossible for her to have used any magic.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't suppose... Might there be a piece of evidence that could prove this? Something to prove that Espella was not holding the scepter at the time of the murder?
In other words, evidence to show that even if Espella had been holding the scepter, she would have dropped it. I guess the muddy lantern?
Is everything all right,
maybe.
Mr. Wright? The truth about what happened in that brief instant will likely decide Espella's fate.
I have to do everything I can to find a contradiction in these testimonies. Guess I should take another look at the court record. Okay. I'm also going to press this one just for safety.
Hold it!
What exactly was the defendant gripping?
It was, that's That's right. It was something cane-like. What was it called? A witch's scepter? Yes, that was definitely that.
Objection! Whoa, whoa! Wait, Miss Kira, you didn't actually see it, did you?
Witness. This cane-like object, was it perhaps roughly this size?
Oh, why yes, that's exactly that size.
It's no good. They're all bent on assuming Espella was holding that scepter. I hope Flower Girl is the witch, and her breakdown animation is the flowers lighting on fire.
Ooh.
It seems it may be best not to put up. Whatever. Okay, fine. I guess it's just the wordsmith's thing.
Okay. I mean, it's that this has mud, and this... I mean, that's not I don't know. Whatever, I got health. Yeah, okay, it's this somehow. There is a high probability that Miss Contabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident.
What do you mean?
What I mean, Inquisitor Barnum, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Apprentice Baker? The lantern's handle was around the accused's wrist.
Objection! Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it.
What?
The rain had just ended as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy, wouldn't you agree? When the thieves grabbed Miss Contabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud.
That lantern fell into the mud?
Why, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy woey?
Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at that time, that would mean that when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it. What's going on? He's speechless. Barnum!
Shut the hell up. Just what is this?
One moment, please. Everyone, please listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand.
So that you can understand. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it.
Mr. Wright,
What is it, Mr. Layton?
there is something about this witness. Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. Is your name Kira because it sounds like killer? How good is your eyesight exactly? As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud on this lantern?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Slam.
Oh, I'm blind, aren't I?
Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean, exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best.
Ah!
Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this?
What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum, fucker! It's true. I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses? A witch!
Aha! Now that you mention it, I did notice something odd about you today.
Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. In its place, clarity.
Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and procure another pair.
Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No, I was not wearing them. The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
Stolen by forest
lost
wolves,
them?
no doubt. Do you think that's just a labyrinthian idiom? Like, I guess that, it belongs to the forest wolves now.
I wonder if they're gonna come into play.
So, her glasses were missing during the time of the incident.
Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? It could prove useful later.
Got it.
Am I to believe there is nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Hello! Wait just a moment. Snowy and I have much more left to say.
That's right! My trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
Ew.
Eureka! I remember now. Old age has such a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand.
Yeah, I understand. I understand you're all completely ridiculous.
It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight.
Me again. The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Who's to say she wasn't also holding the scepter in that hand? That milk bucket's lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could easily have held the scepter there as well.
I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an What?
What?
Wait, hang on. No, go back.
Hold on, go back there.
Do I even have to press that? The scepter was in her other hand, you say? Indeed, such a proposal is feasible. Sir Baker.
Yes, Your Honor?
It is the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender.
Thanks.
Well,
Squints.
no matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation.
I mean... like... Hold it, what? You didn't see the bucket?
Indeed, naturally there was no way of me noticing the witch before the crime occurred. My mind was placid as the most placid of placid lakes.
So you're lying about all of this?
No, I am a truther. No, Piff. But like the early bird on its morning hunt for that elusive worm, my senses remained vigilant.
You do realize all the other witnesses have all testified to seeing Miss Contabella carrying that bucket, though.
And when you have journeyed as far as I have through life, you find all is but an illusion.
Your Honor, I move to remove at least 2 of these witnesses.
That is, except for Lord Storyteller, of course.
The witnesses' testimonies are relying on pure speculation this time. That means there has to be a hole in there somewhere. Yeah, obviously.
We've got Inquisitor Burnham sweating bullets in that armor of his. I'd say he's about ready to throw it all off.
I'm not even going to begin to tell you what's wrong with that statement, Maya. Every interaction with Maya. All right. Well, let me see what I've got. Glasses. Scepter still. Obviously, she cast disappear on the glasses. All right, I don't think I have anything for that. This is a little weird. It's a milk bucket. Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
What is it now? Snowy and I don't have all night, you know. Come on then, out with it.
I just had one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the milk bucket Miss Contabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry? Because she sold the milk bucket, Phoenix.
Well, you see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
So she's probably not going to stay your customer after we get her acquitted, given your testimony, right?
That sheep is so cute.
You've seen it countless times before. That doesn't answer my question. You specifically said the bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight, you must have held that bucket yourself. Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
true.
Snowy's the witch.
By that time, Rob's and Moggs had already been burnt to ash. And then I noticed that the milk in the bucket that the girl had been holding in her hand.
The milk?
Then when those two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket.
Why?
As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
Huh?
Unbelievable. Witness, you.
Well, I keep forgetting what her fucking accent is. British.
It doesn't matter. You're fading into Scottish, but it works.
Yeah. Well, it was just so wasteful. The thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I felt that I just had to protect the milk, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me.
Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you?
That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene.
Oh my, you're scaring poor Snowy. Here, I brought the bucket with me anyway. See, I didn't even tamper with the milk.
Ugh, disgusting. 24-hour plain air milk? I'm sure you didn't.
The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence.
Looks like that's one more piece of evidence for us.
Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony?
Okay. I did not see this milk bucket. Well, let's check out this. Let's check out this milk bucket. Is this a contradiction since he didn't see it? And it was there? You know, it's the only thing that we got that and it's new, so he's holding a milk bucket. Who's to say she... It must have been in our other... Yeah, I think it's this one. It doesn't matter. I can lose some health if I'm wrong. Objection! All of your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. I need to pee real quick. I've been kind of hoping there'd be a break in this court, and it has not happened.
No,
so.
it's court, buddy.
I know. Be right back.
Sip.
Here, gotta do a big old stretch. Alucard, what are you doing, man? You're all stretched out. You're like the Slinky. I'm gonna go pet my cat.
Right.
Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna take this opportunity to look at chat. Oh wow, many people. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern. Save, are you still here? Just checking. No, okay. I guess I better wait. Hello, are you back? Civ? Civ? I guess not. Boom, 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 boom. Have you played Zero Escape?
Wow.
Not. No, people.
That was a fast pee.
I am male, so yes. That's how it works. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern. Therefore, it must have been in her other hand that was holding the milk bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot.
Sorry, I had to take my medication. Alright, sorry.
Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was, in fact, at the crime scene. And you'll also notice something about this bucket. Take another look at the cord illustration. Something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection. This illustration was based on eyewitness accounts, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection! Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there is a blatant contradiction present in this illustration.
Rope.
Admittedly, it does look at first possible that Miss Contabella was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibility goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle?
That cannot be.
Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's say that it'd be a challenge, to put it simply. I don't think it would be any more difficult than holding the rope bucket, frankly. You just have to hold a different part of the scepter.
No, I see what they're trying to say.
I see what they're trying to say. It's like equally as difficult to double hand that, I think. So I think this is dumb writing. And there's no way anyone can hold both the bucket and the scepter at once.
That must mean clearly you have the wrong bucket.
He moves like a sock puppet.
We never lie when it comes to milk. That's the very, very bucket I took.
It looks like the witnesses are just as surprised about this as Barnum. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at once. Also, we've already established that she was not holding a scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Isabella Contabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident.
It's quite hot up here.
Order! Order! I said order. Just what? What is the meaning of this? In all my days as judge of this court, I have never heard such an argument. No one's ever been acquitted. These are but a paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such a remarkable strength. Your Honor, I'd like to take credit for Mr. Wright's work.
That was all me.
What you just heard was logic, dumb bitches.
Logic, you say?
Do you think, like, the word they're translating as logic is something else in Japanese that makes it sound less cartoonish whenever this happens?
Maybe it's deduction?
It would seem the concept of hang on, I need to save this.
Yeah.
Let me just screen cap that. And put this on my desktop for later. It's a very weaponizable image.
Right, then let's take this chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining Espella in a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection. Most intriguing. A knight allows his sword to speak for him during battle. You've also spoken with a sword of words.
Can spell sword without word.
Word, so be it. I, too, shall wield such a blade.
What do you mean?
Oh man, is he from the future too? Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours.
A hole?
According to the earlier testimony, it was believed that the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud.
That's right.
While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean that the accused was therefore unable to use magic. It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter.
That's entirely a reasonable comeback.
What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum?
It is very simple, my lord. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she dropped both the lantern and the scepter.
Ah. The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Of course! Yes, that must be it.
What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the knightly logic, knowledge. Real smart queen. I'm having a bad time with words today. I apologize.
That Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared.
Yeah, sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he'd never heard of a logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us. I don't understand. Why is this, like, even in witch times? This guy's no joke, that's for sure. It's like he's trying to do a hammer throw, or a shot put.
Yeah. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask that you lend us your aid once more. I request that you all testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell.
Witnesses, you may begin your testimonies. Tell this court in your own words about the sequence of events which transpired tonight.
No, I'm not going to.
I want to go to bed.
Of course, the lantern fell to the ground after the incantation of Ignace. Sploosh!
I'm sure as snowy as white, I made certain to keep my eyes peeled on that milk bucket after all. Besides, how can you be sure the lantern fell just because it had a little bit of mud on it?
These eyes do not lie. I saw the lantern in the accused's hands when the incantation was uttered. Wait, hang on.
Hold on.
Figures, their testimonies are all over the place now. I don't know why we're still listening to the flower girl.
These 4 testimonies, they are most interesting. The witnesses all saw the same thing, and yet people's memories are evidently quite fickle. They never can truly be a reliable source.
Now then, Professor, with enough poking and prodding, I bet we could really cause their testimonies to crumble.
Man, it's honestly a real godsend that they have an excuse not to have Maya be the sounding board for you in court. Of course, we need to exploit their fickle memories to turn this thing around.
Never mind, I'm here.
Got this. I'm gonna be here too. We'll press them so hard they won't even remember what they had for breakfast.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast.
Now, Sir Baker, you may begin your interrogation. Okay, I'm old. So many old guys, how long can I keep this up?
Okay. This guy says it fell to the ground. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're just wrong.
Hold it!
The lantern fell after the incantation. Are you positive about that?
I say, I am positively positive that I am positive. I heard her voice and then sploosh!
That sploosh was the sound of the lantern hitting the ground.
No,
Indeed, he does look like a puppet, doesn't he?
but of course. Do you see?
But if you take a look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. You specifically said you heard a sploosh. Shouldn't you have heard the sound of glass shattering when it hit the ground?
The sound of glass shattering? No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift.
Oh, what? What is that? Oh, you have to make witnesses remember things by having the other ones say something. That's interesting.
Oh.
I appreciate them trying to change the formula, I guess.
I was present in an area a bit further away from the crime scene, you see. I have no recollection of hearing such a sound.
No recollection.
Precisely so. I'll have you know I could easily hear a dog barking across town. Do not underestimate my hearing.
I wasn't. Relax, Grandpa.
There is nothing of interest in this testimony. Please, will the witness with the goat please proceed with her testimony?
Ah? Right, you mean us. You startled us, didn't you, Snowy?
Bungadamashi.
I love that video so much. Unsurprisingly. But earlier, you stated that Miss Contabella had the lantern hanging from her wrist.
Well, not quite. We didn't say for certain. We only believed it was on her wrist.
Believed?
Yes, precisely. You know how you sniff milk when you're not quite sure if it's gone bad? And then your nose is assaulted by that foul odor that you weren't expecting? Well, it's a bit like that.
Heed my words, madam. Do not make a habit of stealing for your own safety.
We said that we're sorry, please. It was all Snowy's fault. Yeah, let me blame it on fucking goat.
Oh, brother.
Anyway, we can confidently say that we both saw the milk bucket, right, Precious? And as for the lantern fallen, we don't know much about that, do we now, Schnookups?
Oh, Did we... That's weird. I thought we got something for... Hang on. Okay, yeah.
Hold it!
If I... When does the exclamation point appear over her head? I failed to... Yeah, what do I do? How do I...
Court record?
No? I'm afraid... Maybe I have to, like... It's weird they wouldn't give me a tutorial, considering how hand-holdy they've been.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I need Barnum not to call her out.
Hold it!
Let's keep going. What do you mean?
Well, maybe the mud was already on the lantern before any of this happened. Did you ever think of that?
Before any of this happened?
Like, maybe it's been there since last week. It did rain last week too, after all. And if that's the case, then there really isn't any point arguing about whether or not she dropped the lantern, right?
I say take a closer look at the lantern. You'll notice there's mud on the glass.
Mud on the glass?
Sounds like a song. The lantern wouldn't be very useful with all that mud blocking out the light. Miss Kira, I'd say your little theory regarding this lantern is muddy at best.
Ah!
I could point at witnesses till the cows come home, or the goats. But that wouldn't turn this testimony into anything I can use. I've got to find a lead somewhere.
Blah, blah, blah.
This is important. Are you really sure you saw that lantern?
You are but a petty baker, are you not? It is not your place to be telling me what is important. There is but one thing of importance. Ridding this town of its witches as quickly as possible.
Objection. Hardly. I'd say this is far more important.
What? What?
We're trying to find out the truth here.
How absurd. That girl is a witch, I say. A witch! I would stake my entrance into the Knights of Inquisition on it.
Listen well, whelp.
Yes, Sir Barnum.
Many young men within the ranks of the knighthood share your level of passion. However, you let your ambition completely blind you, the same way that a muddy lantern leaves one blind and helpless in the dark.
What?
This guy. Yes, indeed. I would say he is quite the tough motivator. Okay.
Look at Luke.
He's like, ooh. What do you think, Nick? Do you notice anything fishy?
Yeah, possibly. I think there may be something I can use.
Really? Wow, I didn't hear anything special.
There was definitely something out of place about that one witness's testimony. It was something I haven't noticed from any of the other witnesses so far.
It appears you may have found something, Mr. Wright.
A 4-witness cross-examination. This is something I've never done before. But then, maybe there's another way I should be tackling this.
I believe it is worth trusting that intuition, Mr. Wright.
Okay, got it. Alright, let's try pressing that old man one more time. Cool.
Hold it! Hold it!
There it is, right there. I knew I heard something strange.
Huh? But old Greybeard didn't say anything weird.
Maya, it's not the old guy that said something weird. It's the person next to him.
Next to him? Oh, look there, Professor. The goat lady. She looks like really deep in thought.
It would seem. She has noticed something odd in this elderly gentleman's testimony.
Ah! That's right. The cross-examinations have 4 witnesses. Hey, Nick, it looks like we're not the only ones paying attention to these testimonies.
You're right.
Wow!
You're right, Maya. Which means, if they're all listening to each other's testimonies...
Correct, Mr. Wright. Each witness is fully aware of themselves and their own actions when in the middle of their testimonies. However, it is while listening to the testimonies of others that witnesses may sometimes reveal the most valuable information.
I see. It's habitual. They can't tell they're doing it, but I can. And I'm going to use it to turn the tide back in our favor.
In fact, I do believe I may have spotted our first opening in which to test this new technique. Mr. Wright, could I draw your attention to the touch screen?
The touch screen?
Yes.
Witchcraft!
Yes, we're in a video game.
What?
Sliding the magnifying glass during a Okay, yeah, I can figure this out.
This is a neat concept.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary.
Oh, do you mean us? But Snowy and I have nothing left to say.
I knew it. I caught her completely by surprise. Mr. Wordsmith just gave his testimony. He told us all about the sound he heard when the lantern fell to the ground. Mr. Wordsmith didn't seem too sure, but I wonder if you might happen to have something to say about this.
Huh? Well, that's... Is that all right, Sir Barnum? May we answer the question?
Yeah, go for it. Do what you will, madam. There's no need for formalities.
Huh?
Well, we'll try and explain, won't we, Snowy? The truth is, we did hear something. That is to say, we heard the sound of a lantern's glass shattering. We're sure of it. It was frighteningly loud. It quite startled us, didn't it, Snowy dear? I looked in the direction of the sound, but I couldn't see anything, let alone the girl or the two thieves. It was a tad dark after all.
When the glass shattered, the flame inside must have gone out. Hence, she could not see them. That seems to be the gist of it.
Then, as I peered into the darkness, I heard it.
You heard it? What did you hear exactly?
You know, that! I heard... the incantation for the spell Ignis.
What did you just say?
Now, hold it right there, witness.
Yes, my lord?
The glass shattered when the lantern fell. Then after that, you heard the incantation for the spell Ignis. Do you swear to this court that this is without a doubt correct?
Yes, maybe, I think.
How about my testimony? What of my oratorical observation? That blasted spell Ignis occurred first, then the lantern plummeted to the ground.
I heard no such thing. There was no sound of shattering glass.
Absurd. Simply absurd. So the lantern fell and the glass shattered.
One of the glasses shattered as the glasses on the girl.
That does not change the very fact that this girl is a witch.
Objection. I hate to disappoint you, but that's not quite the case. In fact, this testimony changes things a lot. Wouldn't you agree, Inquisitor Barnum?
What is the meaning of this?
Let's go over what we know so far. In order for a witch to use any magic, they must be holding a witch's scepter. And yet, none of the four witnesses saw the defendant holding a scepter of any kind.
Well, that's because the scepter was made to disappear with the spell Demir, correct?
At the time of the crime, the two victims grabbed Miss Contabella's arm, causing her to drop the lantern on the ground. If, at the time, she was in fact holding an invisible scepter, then the scepter must have fallen when she dropped the lantern. Now, let's say, hypothetically, that Miss Contabella really is a witch. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. However, as our witness, Miss Mary, has just stated in her testimony, she heard the incantation for Ignis after hearing the lantern's glass shatter.
Ugh!
Huh. What?
You do all understand what that means, don't you? It means Miss Contabella, the supposed witch you've locked up, could not have possibly cast any magic. Therefore, the defendant, Espella Contabella, is clearly in no way, shape, or form a witch.
Bah!
Such frivolity! Do you realize what you're insinuating? Do you really think she is not a witch?
Why else would I be defending her, man?
Such nonsense. Did any of you ever listen to my testimony? We did, but you're wrong. There was no glass shattering. Are you calling me a liar, Missy? You couldn't even see the mud on the lantern when it was plain as day.
Die! What ridiculous claims, all of you!
Oh, hush. Take your little toy sword and go back to playing pretend, Sir Knight.
Just walks over and slaps all of them.
Shut up. Witnesses, this is a court of law, not a playground. Must I remind you of the importance of these proceedings? Witches and their magic threaten our fair town of Labyrinthia. Your words here today could decide the fate of every single citizen within our walls. Do you understand? As such, I expect each of you to take your roles seriously and testify honestly about what you saw.
In all my days as judge of this court, I have never seen such behavior. Behavior that leaves a cloud of doubt over the credibility of each of your testimonies.
Indeed, my lord, quite a miserable set of witnesses, this lot.
I see. It would appear this trial has come to a sudden halt.
Huh? So that must mean...
Quite right. It means you have won this trial, Mr. Wright. We've won. I can hardly believe the situation we have found ourselves in. I did not anticipate this trial ending with such a strange turn of events. But due to these witnesses' dubious credibility, I can see no reason to continue. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum?
As you wish, my lord.
Hold it!
Who?
Oh, Jesus.
Old man? Beardsley? What?
Wait a
What?
second. This trial ain't even close to being over.
Some guy.
Some guy?
To testify!
Order! Order! Who is this buffoon?
Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's there.
Who am I, you ask? Who am I? I'm the man that's gonna single-handedly save this trial. I'm the fifth witness.
Say what?
What?
Even Barnum didn't see this one coming.
Just as I thought! This trial was going down the drain before I got here! Okay, you lot, assemble! We need a strategy meeting, ASAP! I say, who are you?
Thank goodness you showed up. We can't give up now, everyone.
It has come down to this. To arms, everyone! We shall do battle against that baker and that hat seller.
I can't believe this. What the heck is going on?
Truly fascinating. It seems a new witness has taken the stand. What's more, he appears to be quite the formidable witness.
Ring around the rosy, pocket full of pose.
Posing.
Well, I guess. This trial is still far from over.
That poor fucking lamb. Jesus Christ. Oh, Gunchman.
Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Espella Contabella.
Oh boy. A group of witnesses huddling up before a joint testimony in a witch trial. You can't make this stuff up.
Inquisitor Barnum, if I may ask you a question.
Yes, my lord.
We now have 5 witnesses on the stand, so I must ask, why was this obnoxious-looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses? Baldy's right, Barnum. That's just cold-blooded.
There's but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed.
Huh?
You, sir, failed to come forward. When we were asking for witnesses for this very trial, you were nowhere to be seen.
That's 'cause I didn't hear a peep about it. I ain't usually around at night, except for maybe at Rogue's Tavern.
So you're basically telling us that you were up all night drinking.
Anyway, it's all water under the bridge now as far as I'm concerned. Just leave the rest to yours truly!
During the last interrogation, the defender... This game really is an exercise in figuring out how many old man voices I can do.
Yeah.
During the last interrogation, the defender brought forth some surprising proof. Namely, that there was little possibility the accused could have used magic. I have never heard of such a claim. It must be the doing of this logic.
What rubbish! Logic, you say? I ain't got a clue what that is, but I do know that this bread-baking baker ought to head back to the bakery.
Eloquently said.
Oi, Gramps, give me and me partners over here a chance to speak. You want to know about how this witch managed to be holding that scepter, don't you?
Oh, when you say Gramps, you wouldn't mean me, do you?
I fail to see anyone else matching such a description.
We'll show you she's a witch.
I'll bet Snowy's beautiful white coat on it.
What?
On guard.
All right, team, let's do this.
Oh, God.
Witnesses! Oh!
Oh!
Yes, well, let us proceed with the testimonies. Why do I feel like I've totally lost control of this situation? Jesus.
It's clear as day. Espella is a witch. We are not backing down on this.
When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands.
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back.
The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding the scepter.
That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick.
So, she had the witch's scepter behind her back, and then dropped the lantern and reached for the scepter after it fell. If that is the case, then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic. Well, there's no mud on the bucket, though.
Dear Liza.
This is bad. Thanks to that guy, all the witnesses seem extra determined to pin this thing on Estella. They each harbor a shared hatred towards witches and magic. Such is the case of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict passed as quickly as possible. However, such confidence is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think these guys mean any real harm, but they're all riled up. They don't even realize how distorted their idea of what happened tonight has become. At least, that's how it seems.
This isn't good, Professor. The witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth.
Sir Baker, Sir Wright. Yes. You do not appear to be a mere simple baker. That much is clear. You are a witch! On the other hand, you're no ordinary defender either.
Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here on this battlefield of battles as an equal in battle. Sir Blue Knight, this trial has not yet been decided. If there is any doubt in your interrogation, I will not hesitate to strike your case down where it stands.
I understand. Defender, please begin your interrogation. Okay, that scepter was not yet in her hands. The scepter must have been... I'll try this one. The witch's scepter was behind her back.
Well,
it's like my little snowflake here. Wherever my darling gets too heavy, I hoist him up and carry him on my back.
You mean your baby goat, right?
No, my husband. Yes, there isn't a cuter little goat in the entire courtroom, right, precious?
I know it's been asked already, but you didn't see the witch's scepter, did you?
Well, no, but it must have been made invisible by magic and then put on her back. You know, Snowy's still such a tiny little thing. If I put him on my back, you can hardly see him.
I hardly see the point of that comment.
So the accused grabbed the witch's scepter after the lantern fell.
The rogue's grabbed my hands.
Hold it!
Are you alright?
What? Why?
Why? Well, for one thing, you're hiding behind what I assume is a shield.
Well played, Blue Knight. You've managed to see through my steel guard technique.
Your steel what technique?
You tried to penetrate to the depths of my mind and deceive me once with your witchcraft of words. But you will find your words are futile against the strength of my shield, crafted from wood harder than steel. Now then, have at you! Attack me if you dare!
No, just listen a second.
Looking at this sketch, it's quite clear the accused could not have held the scepter in the same hand carrying the lantern. Witness, explain to the court just how the accused held the scepter.
That's easy!
The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the scepter. I don't think she did.
She put the milk bucket down.
That's right. Reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection. No. But none of the other witnesses have said anything about seeing her bucket put on the ground.
What? One said not no one said a thing about not seeing her bucket on the ground.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Hang on!
Hang on! Excuse me, Mr. Knightle. Tell me, what do you think about this witness's testimony just now? He claims the accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now.
I am reminded of but one thing, sir. A battle tactic important to any knight. Imagine in one hand you've got your sword and, in the other your shield, when suddenly, from the shadows, an itch of epic proportions takes to your back. What doth one do? Indeed, what can one do? Well, let me tell you, one must drop one's sword and fell that unholy itch with a well-timed scratch to one's back.
Right.
A crafty witch would surely use the same tactic, would she not? I call it my signature back scratch attack of great justice.
Right.
By the way, be wary when using that tactic in battle. I find my opponents rarely give me ample time to remove my armor and scratch.
No further questions for that, Mr. Knightle. No further questions.
Mr. Knightle sure takes the whole night thing super seriously, huh?
Sheesh. I guess it's back to the drawing board.
Picked the wrong one.
I did.
Hold it! Objection! Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira?
Huh? Yes, what is it?
Tell me, what do you think of this witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this up until now.
Well, you're right. How odd. Everyone must have simply forgotten, myself included.
Huh?
But, yeah, Spella definitely did put the milk bucket down.
I've also become sort of Scottish-Irish.
Who cares? That way she was able to easily grab her scepter and use magic. Easy peasy, right? The nerve, Nick. It looks like she's trying to pick a Spella as a witch every chance she gets.
Really, I don't know how much more of this testimony I can stand.
Hold it!
I'll try all of them. Not backing down, you say?
Uh-huh, that's right. Espella's a witch. That's our story and we're sticking to it.
This is a courtroom, Miss Kira. We're not interested in your story. We're interested in the truth.
You know what I think? I think stories have the power to touch our lives in really meaningful ways.
What do you mean?
Last year, I read a book about a flower girl who brought peace to the world with all pretty flowers she sold. Because of that story, I now tell myself, Kira, one day you'll fill the world with beautiful flowers of your own. That story inspires me to sell more flowers. It's pretty much the same as the trial.
No.
No. What a very touching story.
Shut the hell up.
Indeed. I have heard nary a truer tale. Wouldn't you agree, Sir Blue Knight?
Maybe it's just me, but I'd have preferred something a little more relevant.
I'm afraid our logic may do us no good here. Let's move on to the next witness, shall we?
Alright. I don't know what to do here. Huh. What do I get if I cycle through? These testimonies. Something's definitely not right here.
What do you think, Nick?
There's no way this disappearing scepter explains what actually happened. I mean, no one saw anything? How can anyone... I mean, no one saw anything. How can anyone prove it was there?
This is starting to get really annoying.
It's another good screen cap for this franchise. They can talk all they want about an invisible scepter, but no way is anything slipping under my radar.
I do believe that is correct, Mr. Wright. Somehow, we must find a clue that can lead us to another opening.
Yeah, you're right. And I think Mr. Personality over there may just have a key to... Huh, okay. Maybe... I haven't... Have I listened to his thing all the way through? I don't think I have. Maybe there's, like, more than one in his, statement.
Objection!
Alright, let's keep going. Can I... Oh, okay. I didn't realize they all...
Everyone, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mostly... Alright. I mean, you...
It's that you got to ignore the rest of them.
Excuse me, Miss Mary.
Huh? You mean Snowy and me?
And tell me, what do you think about the witness's testimony just now? He said the same thing as always.
That must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes.
Objection! Miss Mary, you did not mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. And yet, you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on more than anything else was the milk bucket. Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket really was placed on the ground.
Objection.
Don't you use your logic.
One's memory is not flawless, Sir Blue Knight.
But she stole the bucket.
Pay attention to what the witnesses were saying. The accused probably placed the milk bucket on the ground. There is the possibility such was the case.
But she was looking
Jingle,
at it.
jangle.
Yes, that's it, that's right. Isn't it my cute little puddle?
Meh. I knew it. Something's fishy about her testimony.
But, indeed, it would seem we lack a decisive piece of evidence if we are to expose the contradictions in these witnesses' testimonies. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I just have to think of what that could be. Just for safety, I'm also gonna check the long man.
Long man.
Long man tetanus shot. Oh, oops, I went past it. I will say I like that it's a different witness every time because you can tell which of the testimonies you're on, and I don't do that thing where I click one too far and do exactly what I just did.
Hold it! Objection! Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Wordsmith?
What is it, oh boisterous blue one?
Tell me, what do you make of this witness's testimony just now? It's still this.
Let me tell you something, young man. Long have I lived and prospered. In that time I have forgotten much. Dreams, aspirations, even love. I simply forgot about that milk bucket, like one would forget about a single drop of water which within the bucket that is life.
Thank you for that, Mr. Wordsmith. No more questions.
I still don't understand a single word that comes out of his mouth, Nick.
Sheesh. I guess it's back to the drawing board. Alright, yeah, I guess I need to find some evidence or something. I pressed everything.
You just let him keep blabbering.
Okay.
Hold it! Objection!
Well, yeah, but...
There you go! These lot probably just didn't see it happen is all. Never question a witness. That's what me pappy always said. Ain't a doubt in me mind that witch put a bucket down before using the scepter.
If that is indeed accurate, then it would seem we may have found our truth.
These testimonies. Something's definitely not right here. Nope,
What do
already...
you think we should do?
We already did this.
Oh.
Yeah, I think I gotta present something. Alright. No, fuck. I keep clicking one too far because I'm expecting the, like, press button to be in the middle of the screen for some reason. Okay.
Maybe present the bucket?
Yeah.
Objection!
Yeah. Alright, no, I was right in the first place. It's that the bucket has no mud on it. I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple.
What? What you talking about?
It had only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Contabello really placed this bucket on the ground, like you claim she did, then it should have been caked with mud, just like the lantern after it fell. Well, I'd say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you?
Well... Hey, Barnum!
What?
You just gonna sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here.
Flattery will get you nowhere, witness, other than perhaps the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
Indeed, you admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add.
My oh my, such harsh words, Inquisitor.
When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket. Is that correct?
You know, now that you mention it...
No way, don't tell me.
That milk bucket. That's right, I remember now. I don't know if it was on that bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag.
Are you kidding me?
Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum.
Right, it all makes perfect sense. See, we were right all along, aren't we, Inquisitor Barnum? Fuck, I keep saying Inspector.
I knew that sword weren't just for show, Barnum. You've sliced this case in two.
Witness, Miss Mary.
What is it?
You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket?
Oh my. Well, the truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly. But I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home.
It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that we can be quite certain. Hooray! That'll teach you, Bluey! You got that right? Do me a favour, will you, Gramps? I want to change my testimony just a little bit.
I will allow it, only if the witness refrains from name-calling in the future.
You got it, my lord. Well, all this court mumbo-jumbo has left me thirstier than a dog in a desert.
It's that one Aram
Oh my
character.
god. Dude. Dude, you're just gonna pass out.
That witch there was holding a stick. I even heard her say the incantation thingy. That's right, I witnessed it all.
But no one knows for sure if Miss Contabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground.
Because there's no mud on it, is that what you're saying?
Hey, we went over this already. We know that goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection! However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket.
We really don't remember, but maybe.
I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting a bucket on the ground.
Miss Mary, please give a definitive answer.
You all done, Bluey? Talk all you want, 'cause it ain't gonna help you. You see? The 5 of us, we saw what that witch went and did. We saw it clear as day.
Oh, okay, I guess.
I didn't see anything.
I was undulating.
Excuse me, mister? Earth to Gramps.
Defender, when you say Gramps, might you be, by any chance, referring to me?
No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening?
I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all. The crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd,
and now your voice. If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony?
Indeed so. I felt something was amiss. However, what that means I cannot say.
Amiss?
Witness, could you tell us? What precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness?
What a burn, Barnum.
5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air, and the shadows of those present cast through the dim light. And yet, there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included.
4? Hold on 1 second. You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight?
These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw. Oh wait, I saw 4 people. I guess I was the 5th. Never mind.
Oh, the fucking flower girl made herself invisible.
Yeah. Is something the matter, Miss Mary?
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. Why were you guys in the fucking forest? And that's when I saw them. The other people that scrambled to the scene along with us.
There was a knight, a prince, a princess, and figure out which one.
I'm quite sure of it. There were only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Hold it, madam. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many.
Don't be stupid! Oh, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. All for one and one for all, remember? We all promised to take this witch down together, didn't we?
It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
Well, I say it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I say. I'll have you know my counting is flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise.
4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, what difference does it make?
That sounds like something a witch would say.
Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What there? You saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool! Didn't I just finish saying that?
My testimony is strong as steel, even
Wait,
if it's not completely stainless.
Order! Order! I said order! What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up? I have never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. Everyone shut the fuck up. There is but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility. Oh, what do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet, currently, we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright?
The answer. It can't be.
Slay him.
Well, out with this supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses?
While it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, and the real murderer in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses.
What?
What?
You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? Witchnesses? What utter rubbish! There is no possible way that such a claim could be true.
I cast drunk. That's right. You got a lot of nerve accusing one of us of being a witch.
We've told you nothing but the truth, yet you still have the gall to bat around such outrageous accusation.
You've lied like 6 times.
Behold! Behold as my trusty shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are!
Inquisitor Barnum.
Yes, my lord.
I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession?
Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here.
Oh, the little Layton naps, they love them.
I've requested it from the court illustrator just in case.
Very well. Witnesses, I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here, on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now.
The number of witnesses doesn't add up. It looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. She looks so out of place, and it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman.
The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence.
If one of the witnesses really is the witch, then that could only mean one thing. Someone here isn't telling the truth.
That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright.
Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is amongst these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a false one, I'll cut you. You will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear?
But that wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it.
Is it the same thing? It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight.
Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright.
Oh boy.
Now, ready your sword.
Ready?
Were you listening? You claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime, can you not? Come on now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is.
Sir Doughy Defender. What?
Oh, because I'm a baker. Thought he was just calling me chubby for some reason.
Show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place.
I can't even. Well, oh. Now I'll solve.
Hello.
I changed my mind.
I mean, I think it's this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks right.
Probably this person.
I think.
You're so bad at this defender stuff, it makes me want to drink!
If I may, Mr. Wright, remember that if one of these witnesses is indeed the witch, then there is a high possibility that particular witness is not telling the truth. Do bear that in mind.
Okay, so it wants me to say where they are, not who they are. Okay. Beep, 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 beep. That's true.
This music is sick.
That's fine. Okay. I believe it said only 1 meter. Yep, 1 meter radius, so they gotta be like, she's gotta be like right there.
Oh, she's in between the 2 trees.
The 2 trees?
Yeah, you see how there's like the 2 pointy trees just down below? Or
I
maybe
think
she's hiding
I think
behind
I
a
just
fence.
need to say like she's right here.
Yeah, okay.
Probably somewhere around here. Somewhere around there.
I hate... Man,
It looks like
I fucking despise point out the X things. They have never been done well one time in all of Ace Attorney.
it looks like it's your head that is currently somewhere else, Sir Blue Knight.
What do you mean?
I believe what he is trying to convey. What? I believe what he is trying to convey is that your answer was incorrect.
Well, he doesn't need to be so harsh about it.
If I may, Mr. Wright.
I know. She needs to be one...
She's probably by the fence.
She can be anywhere. It doesn't... There is no answer to this. It's 1 meter within the fire. I'm just gonna cheat again, because this is horse shit. Oh! Oh, sorry! Where I pressed, huh? Fuck you.
What? Fuck that. You literally pressed there.
I was right fucking there.
Objection.
Objection. What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Yeah, and yet you took my health away regardless, so... Inquisitor Barnum, may I suggest you try taking a look at this?
Oh, right, that's me. The Grand Grimoire. I just completely forgot that was me for half a second.
Alright. According to this tome, Ignace summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Yeah, that was centered on Espella, and, like, the fire is on the guys. So, whatever. Whatever. Bad. I hope Will stepped in for 1 second so he could be like, Ace Attorney sucks, and then leave immediately. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting her spell.
Objection. Of course, you needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
They're in a forest. True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there's one possibility if a witch wants to say hidden from sight.
Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it. How was the witch able to hide in plain sight?
What do you think, Your Honor? What?
No.
What? Why? Why is this wrong?
I don't have a clue how this is relevant.
I think the spell book, I don't know.
That's not an item I
you
can
could
present.
You could just click on the Grand Grimoire in the top corner.
Yeah, but that's a menu. All right. Whatever. Man, fuck all of this, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I didn't know I could present a spell page. We haven't done that before. And to use the spell, you need the fucking staff.
Take that.
Man, fuck this. This Telea Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignace and one other one. That's right, the spell Demir.
Demir. It cannot be.
That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene. Only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Demir.
What foolishness is this?
Order!
well.
Order in the court! Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Demir to make the Talea Magica disappear. Objection. According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Demir, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words... Supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand, while touching part of their body with the other. They would have been able to make themselves disappear.
Are you implying that this is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses?
I am here too. Indeed it is. Which means, witnesses! Someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the crime scene. How utterly absurd! The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not?
That's right. We are not witches.
Shut the fuck up. Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right. I'm afraid you are no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group.
The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial.
You wish to know where we're all standing tonight? It matters not. Why would the flames not burn just the same?
That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blighters were roasting. So I rushed right over there.
I heard the incantation, then the flame suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
All right, it's me. As I said, there were only 3 others present. Like that man there who stumbled around like a newborn calf. A most heinous act indeed. No wonder these witnesses are so confused.
Yep.
Sorry, you out of me for a sec.
I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim in this case is of Espella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. Alright, well first let me go to that last guy and check who he was talking about when he... Like, I'm pretty sure it's the flower girl, but... It's possible it's the knight. So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct?
That is how it has come to pass.
By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf?
Ah, yes, that was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say.
He must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking.
When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from the shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over.
Okay. Hang on! Is something the matter, mister? Mister!
Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey!
That's my line.
Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press the witness.
Looks like this guy has managed to scare Barnum half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed that you were stumbling about. What does he mean by that?
I'm gonna set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling about anywhere. I like to think of it more like swaggering with style.
A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night.
Hey, look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, I kind of tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's going on in the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So,
You could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run.
How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal.
My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time.
Well, Defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning?
No. There's no point in wasting time with meaningless questions.
Is that so? I must say I'm a little disappointed. Huh? I just thought you noticed something. Maybe it was just me.
Okay.
If you do notice something, okay, alright.
What? Alright.
It was what he tripped over.
Okay. Oh, wait. It's a long way back to that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Hold it!
I'm kind of worried since I have so little health thanks to the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on!
The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching? Why is this suspicious? He's as drunk as a skunk.
Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something caught my attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out my name.
You heard your name?
Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right?
So, you heard someone call out, "Hey you," from behind, you mean?
What? I said they called out my name. How many guys do you know named Hey You? Well, am I
Well, in
Pikachu?
Phoenix's world.
My name is Emir, and don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me?
I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Emir.
You know, Professor, I'm not Luke.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh?
That's harsh.
Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now?
Not at all. He's always just been Mister to me.
A knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries.
What? It is the first time I have heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Emir.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remembered the names of my most loyal customers.
Okay, so it looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name.
You know, it really ain't much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age,
I feel like that really should have been my age.
when you get to be me age, you really start wondering when you find true love, you know. I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me sweetie.
Ew!
Gross, Your Honor. I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony as meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony.
Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please only reflect the important points in your story. I'm telling you, I heard someone calling my name, and I was looking around trying to find him.
I am gonna quick save here because I'm running out of health.
Objection!
Nope. Glad I did. You know what? It's gonna load. It's gonna. Okay. I guess I just have to. I just have to press again. Excuse me, Emir.
Don't sweat it, Bluey. Mr. Hey You. It's all the same to me.
You stated that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure about that?
Well, right or wrong, it sure sounded like my name. I mean, what else could it have been? I would have remembered something. Maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me.
From somewhere behind you?
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Emir's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, then there's definitely something wrong here.
Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction?
Yeah, I think so. Although, I don't know, there's just something strange about this testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help.
Do you mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence?
Objection. My lord, is this line of interrogation a complete waste of the court's time, or what? Nice save.
Defender, I must warn you, from here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly.
If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and Dispella.
If you are intent on finding the fault in this witness's testimony, you will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims.
There's not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now?
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Layton!
I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence. A weapon?
Now, defender, give us your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense finds that this witness's testimony... Your Honor, the defense believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection. What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection, but I do. If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnum, allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking.
Whatever do you mean?
You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss that one remaining weapon in this cross-examination.
The remaining weapon?
This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not?
You mean questioning, right, Professor?
Indeed it is, Luke. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing.
There's something else we can get from a 5-person cross-examination? That's right. Of course.
Indeed, Mr. Wright. Contradictions. Should one witness's testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not?
Testimony contradicting testimony. I never would have thought of that until now, except I would have since we do that in every game. It's just that
every
we get...
game, yeah. Slam. Enough. Sir Blue Knight, are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving the contradiction within this witness's testimony?
No! She's guilty. The witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony.
What are you talking about?
It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question, as well as those of the other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradiction. Figure it out, girl.
Oh, but I was reading chat. Give her. Fucking go. And make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too.
It would be this one. Because, according to her, she was behind him, right? Am I stupid?
Yeah, she was.
Okay. Yep.
Objection.
Oh, you get both at once.
Oh.
The person contradicting this man's testimony
is none other than you.
Miss Kira.
Are you both pointing at me?
At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name.
That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else.
And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak.
This is a clear contradiction.
Objection. What is the meaning of this, defender? Can you really claim to trust this sham of a witness and his sham of a testimony? I bet that's his dad.
That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. I just realized my shirt's on inside out. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over.
He heard a woman's voice calling his name, a very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection. If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible.
That's right, why me? People barely hear me when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Me? What are you getting at, young lady? Do you honestly think a woman of my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with questionable men? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him? Neither did I, and even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want? Let's just drag this man. Fuck it.
Come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know.
As I was saying, the only person this guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira.
The defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim. To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is simply unheard of.
Looks at the girl in the cage.
I must warn you, defender. If you cannot prove your accusation to this court, you will see the underside of my gavel. Show us the evidence proving that this young lady was the one who called out to this man at the time of the crime.
Oh, right.
Grand Grimoire.
Take that!
I hate this
Wow.
game.
My apologies, but I believe that may not be...
Yikes, that was fast!
Please, Mr. Wright, you are way too far ahead of this case. Also, be sure to hit the exact right pixel or you're wrong.
This is just so obvious. It's very frustrating. Save state again, because I don't want to click through this again. Okay, so I have to... Wait, I have to prove that she was behind him? But I just said that. Well, fine.
Ugh.
Fuck you. Take a look at this and you'll have your answer. Since I just said it, fuck you. I hate the Ace... I think I am starting to hate Ace Attorney, actually.
I'm sorry.
This is the crime scene sketch.
You can see the position of each witness during the crime scene. The only person that he could have possibly heard him from behind was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection. Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will only tell you this one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it. Damn. Did you, in fact, see this flower girl's face?
You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face.
Okay, but you heard her voice, right?
Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere. It was kind of high-pitched, and I guess it kind of sounded like her, but I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice.
And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity.
Huh?
My lord, it is clear that the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior.
Indeed, Inquisitor. Ready yourself, defender. What is that laughter?
Pardon me, my lord. It looks like you finally arrived at a decision. That means it has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers.
Why are you bringing attention to yourself? He was about to hand down a guilty verdict.
Greedy. I mean, look at all those flowers left over. It's gonna take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would like to be interested.
Would like to be interested, goddammit.
Would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers to help a girl out.
No, I don't think. I mean.
Then it's settled, and if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption.
Understood. The court will dismiss the witness.
Well, Miss Kira, it would seem that you are beginning to show the court your true colors.
Oh, whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone. It looks like that's that.
Hold it! Wait, you can't leave yet. This cross-examination isn't over.
Now that's funny. You say it isn't over, and yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused, Espella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will.
This is bad. If they let her walk out now...
Nick, do you think she could be...
The real witch. Yeah.
You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender? Let me spell it out for you. Oh shit, I said that word. The spell word. Oh fuck. One last time, so even you can understand. Why am I suddenly evil? I could have gotten away scot-free. Why am I doing this? I didn't know this man's name at all before today, and I still don't remember it. So, how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Oh, she did it! She said the word, and she disappeared.
One moment, please, Miss Kira.
Is there something else you wanted?
You don't seem to realize what you just let slip.
What are you talking about?
This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time. Is that correct?
That's right. This weirdo's just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it to us earlier.
There is just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying.
Why are you all saying tonight? It was last night. Oh no, I guess it was tonight. I guess we got grabbed in the middle of the evening, didn't we? My bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again? My lord, I'm still here, you know.
You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely?
Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnum. Something else.
Aha! What could it have been? There's only one other thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there.
That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. It's also a knife.
Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court?
This is ridiculous. I demand that you let me go this instant.
Witness, what you are being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains.
I thought you guys were on board with her leaving. Fucking make up your minds.
Defender, you may
They
present...
just want someone to die.
You may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice...
Finally? For real now this time?
Save.
I am. I don't trust this fucking game. It's burned me 4 times.
Take that.
Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry. What's your name again? You've got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason.
Hey! It's Amir! My name's Amir, darn it! How many times have I gotta say it? I already forgot. No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Amir.
Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy.
Come on, guys! Stop kicking a guy while he's down!
Mr. Amir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name.
Another name?
The answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Amir.
Amir?
You say that like it's not exactly the word we've been saying. What he heard at the time wasn't actually his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation.
What the?
Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated you didn't know the man's name.
Objection. Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell.
The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, the supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Espella Contabella, but instead the witness who was heard uttering the magic incantation. Miss Kira, she's our witch. You used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Contabella instead.
No! Objection. An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull.
What do you mean?
I am referring to a contradiction, naturally.
Hey, that's my line.
My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening.
Nah, it's the flower girl. We can end the case now. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum.
Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused, Espella Cantabella, was surrounded by two rogues. Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Demir and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignace, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight.
Indeed, that does seem to be the claim.
The problem is what happened next. There is a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements.
A contradiction in her movements?
Allow me to continue. The witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point while still invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight?
Are you gonna say that if she said from behind that and he turned to look at the fire, she would have been in the other spot? Like, she's lying, though, so her testimony is whatever. Why am I even trying? That's correct. Then Mr. Amir heard her call his name.
Well, then I have but one question that I would like you to answer.
Why is this case still going?
Why would a witch need to do such a thing?
What do you mean?
Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine that she still would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch.
No, he was about to step on her glasses, and that's why she called out. Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words...
I think she just lost her glasses and didn't know how far away she was.
Mm-hmm. It is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch.
What?
This is really annoying. Is this what you do every day?
She's just gonna let herself go.
That's right. You all heard it. It's just as Inquisitor Inquisitor Barnum said? Me? A witch? The idea is laughable.
Can you not be so
Oh, wait, hold up.
hang on.
Barnum's like, wait, maybe hold on a sec.
Not good. She's completely bounced back on her feet.
Ooh, we were so close too.
I can't believe Inquisitor Barnum. Can't he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here.
Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail.
Dumps a bucket of ice water on him. Mr. Layton!
I'm sure you've had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. This situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time?
What would I usually do? Of course, turn my thinking around. There's only one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've got to flip this case on my head. Wait, on its head, and think outside the box.
It would seem the defense has nothing further to add.
Why, of course, that's because everyone knows the truth. They know that the girl right here is the real witch.
I haven't said a word in 3 hours.
I fell asleep, actually. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, my lord.
Objection. No. The situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnum. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation to make herself reappear. Now, the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, this entire case will start to unravel.
Oh, is it that her glasses were invisible? Because she was wearing them, and then she bumped into Buddy, and,
Maybe.
Most fascinating. Very well. Allow us to hear this theory of yours.
Doesn't really matter. We know what happened.
Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene.
Well, we're still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The reason Miss Kira... I like that pose. The reason Miss Kira appeared at the scene of the crime was... Save again. To become a witness. I mean, that's what I would do. To give herself an alibi. I don't really think you'd need an alibi if you have 4 witnesses to cover up your crime. What do you think?
I want to say it's to give herself an alibi, because my theory is that she's searching for her glasses, but...
I feel like that is 2 steps ahead of thought, which doesn't seem to be this game's MO.
Have you saved?
I just did, yeah. She wants to become a witness. Why?
No.
No. Okay, whatever.
No.
Oh, wait, I know what I should do. Hang on.
Hinkle. Ah, I was wrong.
Wait, was that... I can't tell if that was telling me which one I needed to click or if it was eliminating a possibility.
I think it was eliminating it.
Okay. Let me just...
Shut the fuck up.
I don't know, man. This is dumb. I only play this game fair when it's playing fair back, and the case then the case shouldn't have ended 25 minutes ago. I can't think of any other possibility. This has to be the answer. Isn't it obvious? She was trying to cover up her own crime. Civ? Hello? Did you disconnect?
Oh shit, I think my internet just cut out for a minute.
Hi. Are you back?
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Oh, is that right? Then tell me, why would she do that?
Because you would want to cover up your crime. What kind of stupid fucking question is that? Well, give me a minute, I'm just getting to that. Was there no right option? Whatever.
You heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to reappear. Assuming I was the criminal, that is.
I can't argue with that. Yeah, alright, they were all wrong. Real mean of the game to even let me play a hint coin, then.
Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case.
Mr. Layton!
Explain yourself, Sir Top Hat.
You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed, and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence.
Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear.
What was so important that she had to reappear and risk being spotted? I mean, Amir heard her voice.
Defender, tell the court.
Why? Okay, I guess it's the glasses. I'm gonna save again, because I don't want to redo this.
Take that!
Miss Kira, you usually wear glasses, is that correct?
Huh? Ow! It's like I already told you. I lost my glasses a few days ago.
Are you absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight, during the crime scene?
Of course not.
Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone.
Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses. That makes the least amount of sense. Why would you need to appear yourself to look for glasses?
Because she was disappeared when she was wearing them and when she dropped them, and because they were on her person, then they also were invisible.
Oh, I guess. Okay.
How absurd! Such baseless conjecture. What you propose is fundamentally flawed.
What do you mean?
Let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. That does not explain for what purpose it could serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under the cover of darkness.
Objection.
Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan was simply not possible.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting?
Yes. He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear during the crime scene. Okay, this is it.
Defender, enlighten us. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear?
I guess she couldn't find her glasses.
Save again.
She couldn't find her glasses.
She could not find them.
If you've noticed now, she's still not wearing her glasses.
Objection. Hold on a moment, Sir Blue Knight. What does that have to do with anything?
That's right, it doesn't change a single thing.
Objection! You're correct. That's where you're wrong. In fact, it changes things quite a bit. Tonight, the two victims were engulfed by flames, courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the crime scene. It was at this point that something you didn't expect occurred. Something you didn't spectacle occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. Are we not going to get a reason for why that happened? That's right. You were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene of the crime, you would be suspected of being a witch. Okay.
Objection. What foolishness. Even if stupid, bad. She could simply have explained that she dropped them there days before the crime had happened.
No, I guess. I'm afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Barnum.
Well, what did you say?
If you recall, it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. Had she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally, one would expect the glasses to be soaked in water and covered in mud. However, if the rain had stopped at the time the crime itself was committed, it was done. In other words, One look at the pair of clean, dry glasses that would have been dropped in the mud and therefore dirty, and this is irrelevant, would reveal she had dropped them later, thus implicating her as a witch. Luckily, after rain, everything immediately dries up and evaporates in 2 seconds.
I should have known! That's the wrong voice. I should have known. I was perfecting my raindrop rending technique in the forest, and not once during the rainfall did I see that flower maiden traveling along the nearby path.
That's not all. In order to frame Miss Contabella as the witch, you needed to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of the crime.
Jello, hold on. Twitch is doing a weird thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what viewbots are, but they're happening.
What?
Scroll up a bit. Set to follower only mode, maybe?
Okay. Someone explain what this means. You're just screaming bots. You're just screaming. They're spamming. How are they? I don't see anything.
They were up in the top. There was like a solid like 20 people or users that were just like blah blah blah.
Oh. Okay. Whatever.
I see. That would be the most definitive evidence that she is a witch.
The objective here was to have somebody else discover the staff at the scene.
Alas, that person was I.
However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce which spells were used simply by examining the magic gems on the scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used Demir to escape from sight and make her escape. That's why, Miss Kira, you were left with no option but to reappear at the crime scene.
That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion if someone were to discover your glasses at the crime scene. By reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you'd simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what had happened. What do you have to say to that, Miss Kira?
You know, I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over. So that's it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again. Over 1,000,000 times! I lost my glasses, I lost my glasses! Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. Ha! You can't prove it! In other words, you lose.
Okay, but that was like pretty weird though, right? Right? Guilty!
That is correct. Proving such a thing would indeed be impossible. To prove that the witness dropped her glasses at the crime scene, what say you, Inquisitor Barnum?
'Tis indeed a question of proof, my lord. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of being a witch.
But you don't have any...
Literally just get her to hold the staff and say it.
Also, you don't have any fucking evidence on Espella either. Like, we have equal evidence on both of them, even if she wasn't the witch.
Mm-hmm. You heard the man. But we were so close. That girl is a witch. Can't anyone else see that? What should we do, Professor?
Well, it would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Wright?
Yes, it certainly looks that way, Mr. Layton.
What's with that face? Do you find something funny here?
It is as you said, Inquisitor Barnum.
Explain.
The defense raises just one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses?
What do you mean?
You must have searched the area quite thoroughly looking for them. And yet, Even now, the knights have been unable to locate those glasses. Did you ever wonder why?
Yes, that has become quite the mystery. Surely they must be around somewhere.
The glasses were lost to the wolves. That is the only explanation.
There is still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight.
What did you say?
The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving only one other possible place.
What is this, you two? Have at you, Sir Blue Knight. Draw your blade and reveal to the court where the glasses are supposedly hiding.
It looks like I've somehow managed to make it through my first witch trial.
Are they in her basket?
I mean, you'd imagine... Why wouldn't she just be wearing them then?
Because they're broken.
Okay. It all comes down to this. The final piece of evidence. It's time to clear up this case once and for all.
Liar.
I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Wright.
The player doesn't know. The piece of evidence pointing to the one place we have not searched tonight is...
Oh.
Why would they be in here? But
Oh, they heard a sploop.
It can't be anywhere else.
He heard a sploop.
I'm still gonna save state.
Take that!
Tonight, there was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene, right under everyone's noses.
Carried away?
I'm speaking, of course, about this.
That's the milk bucket that disappeared from the crime scene.
Thus far, the defense's claim that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if, Miss Kira, we find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation, I read that as, then our meme will suddenly become fact.
God, how did that even happen?
What manner of witchery?
What are you talking about? You're just crazy. You're crazy! No way could my glasses be inside that stupid bucket. That's just impossible.
How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? What do you say,
Sloop?
Inquisitor Bardem?
That'll just waste the court's time. Don't listen to them. Don't.
Yeah, go for it, man. 'Tis mandated that the throws bucket. My lord, the Inquisition requests that this milk bucket be searched immediately.
Very
Pour
well.
out.
Oh, am I doing it? Ick.
You.
Oh. What? What?
Miss Kira, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk bucket. What a bad sentence. The truth is out. Nothing you can say can change that now.
Which leads us to the next question. Specifically, a question of when. When did you drop your glasses into the milk bucket?
What?
Why is this happening? This whole thing is ridiculous. The answer is obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards, after I ran over to see the fire. I took a tiny peek inside that milk bucket. That's when they fell in. Don't be stupid, child. Snowy and I were at the scene first. We made sure to take that milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little hands on it. We weren't going to let a single soul get anywhere near that sweet, creamy bucket of deliciousness. You can bet my farm on that.
Each of these four witnesses has stated they heard the spell Ignaze being cast at the time of the incident. Like this, Ignaze! According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignaze summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the real witch must have been at Miss Contabella's side at the time of the incident.
Indeed. That is when the glasses fell into the milk bucket. Therefore, there is only one logical conclusion. One person who could be the true witch.
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
The killer you. Up the music a little, because I assume we're going to get a voiced breakdown. Oh. Alright, that was not a very good breakdown. I don't know.
How did I get up here?
I don't know if I feel like this is a happy ending, frankly, if we're gonna murder this girl.
What a very strange trial this has been. From the very beginning, we have all paid witness to a most unusual set of circumstances. A baker turned defender, a surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. Never have I seen such a spectacle.
Miss Kira, tell us why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
I really like milk.
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this. So why Espella Cantabella?
It's got a sexy voice.
Yeah, it's good voice.
Do you have any idea what it feels like to be a witch?
What it feels like.
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for these powers, but I have them. And now here I am, begging for my life. I was living such a peaceful life until now. Selling flowers, getting scolded by my boss for not selling enough of them. That's why I was trying to put an end to these trials once and for all.
Put an end to the trials.
You all know what I mean! The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials!
When the great witch Bezella has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul in sight. I always carried my hidden Telea Magica with me in case of a moment like this.
How did you do that? It's so huge.
I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end, and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly? Are you actually accusing Espella Cantabella?
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time. She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Part of the story?
Objection! That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please! I know you've all noticed it too! You could end this! All of this! That girl! It's all because of that girl! I beg you! Please! Please release me! Knights of the Court! Isn't it your duty to protect the people of this town? Give me another chance!
That is where you're wrong.
Huh?
'Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk. The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch. The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword. Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please, wait! Stop! Please, just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials, let me take her place. Let me be Bezella. Send me to the flames. But please, if it would save her life.
This trial has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira, is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Did he say executed? He can't mean...
Yeah, Nick. What did you think the stakes were?
This is most unsettling.
Bailiff!
Oh shit.
No!
Luke, don't look!
No! Don't do this!
Oh, she's gonna...
Don't let her fool you! Isabella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Brazilla! Take her! And then these witch trolls will be no more! The witch trolls will end...
This almost looks like the Bakano art style.
Christ.
Good lord.
Professor, I'm traumatized.
So far, we've always managed to pull off a win and get a not guilty verdict, but winning has never felt this depressing. Oh, Isabella, are you all right?
No! Yes, I just want to thank all of you. You all came to my rescue yet again.
Well, yeah, of course we did.
Hold on a sec, Isabella, what did you say just now? I'm still not clued in. You all came to my rescue yet again? You don't mean...
Oh, right, I wasn't counting you, Maya.
Just kicks her into the fire.
God,
Yes,
I wish.
I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose that makes this the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me.
Oh, you know what that means? Darklaw probably, like, intentionally removed her, her memories so that she wouldn't be here, so that she wouldn't die.
Maybe.
Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and Isabella have met before?
Yeah, it seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton?
Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired. Good lord, you're tall.
Okay, what should we discuss? Oh, we have to do this? Alright. Isabella paid us a visit in London.
Yes, we all... I guess I'll read this. It might be important.
Is that right?
Can't believe that's his fucking name.
Mr. Accidenti helped drive Isabella straight out of Labyrinthia.
You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me. Wait, did you say witches? So they appeared in London too?
Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. When we saw you last, it seemed you'd managed to escape, courtesy of that passing freighter.
Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you after that, Isabella?
That's me! It's still me! God damn it! I rode the ship along the river for a while before arriving at a nearby port. And then... that's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya. I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there.
So I decided to get into court.
Please accept my sincerest apologies. I'm afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it.
No, please don't blame yourself, Mr. Layton. I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for anything on the ship that might help me. Boy, you sure found something all right, or rather someone. You ran into a master thief working as part of the ship's crew.
Master Thief is a little strong.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
Did someone say steal?
Did you say Master Thief? Crikey, that's amazing!
I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing.
After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me.
I see. Then perhaps, somewhere deep within your mind must have existed a memory of that previous trial, and of Mr. Wright. Hence why you sought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening.
That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history that day in jolly old England.
Did you say you made history? Wow, that's incredible, right, Professor?
I wouldn't exactly say I made history.
But then, after that, I was never able to find my way back to the professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding that clue, it ended up being taken away from me.
A clue, you say?
Yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy.
That tag was a clue? A clue for what? Okay, what should we discuss? This.
I had had a lot of time to think when I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things. Like how to try and find a way back once the ship arrived at its destination. Things like that. Find a way back. A way back to Mr. Layton and Luke. They were the only ones I knew I could depend on to help me.
The pleasure was ours, Espella.
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived.
Huh? You mean London, Espella?
Oh, that's it. London. That's where it was written in Carmine's letter to Mr. Layton. The blue teddy bear I found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck.
Sorry, Espella, but PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear.
On the tag, in very small letters, was written London. I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be an address.
And that's because the stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police.
Oh, that's right! Espella, you must have known that address was super important.
Whoa!
So that's why you kept... Whoa! That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again. I just felt so lonely and helpless. I wonder, though, who do you think really did it? Hit Olivia over the head with the pipe, I mean.
What's this?
Oh, yeah. I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was.
I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches.
What? You mean the witches that were chasing us through London?
No, indeed. It could be that they noticed your escape onto that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way on board.
Could it be? So, you're saying that there was some big, scary witch lurking around inside of that cargo hold?
I'm afraid there is a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture.
Oh, right, I'm Phoenix. I don't know why. All right. In other words, the situation with Miss Al Dente, you mean?
Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious and attempted to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, given that you ended up in the court regardless.
And that's when she became my client.
I just can't clearly remember anything that happened back then.
Do you think there's a possibility that someone was pulling Espella's strings through the entire trial?
Who could it be?
I wonder. Hey, maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about Espella at the time.
Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright. Espella was introduced to you at the time as a schoolgirl, is that correct?
Yes.
She would have no knowledge of the world outside of Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she was would pose a serious problem, meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Espella's identity.
What? But Professor, could someone really do that?
Yeah, that they could indeed, Luke. And if it is as I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought.
Just who or what are we dealing with here?
I'm here. There's a rat in the background. Hey, guys, let's head back to the bakery for now.
Don't talk about Phoenix that way.
I bet the boss is waiting for us for one heck of a pastry feast. I cannot eat bread. Actually, I can't go home just yet.
Huh? You can't? Oh!
Well, there's still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go on ahead without me.
Is that so? Very well. The last time we did this, you got arrested.
It's fine. I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything. Alrighty then, Espella. We'll catch you later.
In jail?
Yes. Farewell for now.
Just as the peace sign fade out.
Mr. Wright,
This feels weird looking at me straight on like this.
No,
Please,
this is wrong.
please allow me the pleasure of a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton. I'm a professor of archaeology in London.
A professor? Huh. Well, my name is Phoenix Wright. I'm an attorney.
As I suspected, you are no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe that I'd been a baker all my life. But the more everyone kept saying it, the less I was sure that it was actually true. Just where did that memory come from, anyway?
Hey, Professor, if Mr. Wright is an attorney, that must mean he's as
No, I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
I'm afraid I can't really say, Luke.
There's a comic that I saw ProZD dub once. It was just like,
After all, a gentleman would never call another person a dumbass.
But behind every ace attorney, there's an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing tumor of a person.
My name is Luke Triton. I'm the professor's apprentice.
I'm Maya.
Nikki boy. Wait, why am I your apprentice?
Anyway, we shall go back to the bakery. Let's get a move on.
Get a move on! I'm sure Espella will be back before we know it. Ha 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 ha! I want to assume this is either Darklaw or your redhead guy.
Barnum, yeah. I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. Hey, what's up?
Inquisitor Barnum.
Most impressive work tonight. 'Tis a shame that you have kept such an ability hidden until now.
Trust me, Nick's lawyer abilities beat the pants off his baking abilities any day of the week.
Okay, moving on. What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't Espella go home?
New charges have been brought against Mrs. Spella Cantabella. Back in it!
What? No way! That can't be right!
You have realized it, haven't you? She is being charged under the suspicion of being the Great Witch Bezella.
Yeah, by a witch. She what?
That's bullshit. Am I to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation?
It was not I who made the decision.
Huh?
It was Darklaw. Regardless, the girl will return to court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I am to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch.
Pardon me, Inquisitor. When exactly is this appointed time? Can we please have some Layton gameplay before we delve back into the fire?
The fire, you say? The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. That would be 2 weeks from today. That's pretty generous.
That's like
Following
more...
our investigations...
Go ahead.
Okay. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed.
What the...
It would appear that the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you all.
Espella.
Espella Cantabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. That means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately.
Espella. The legendary Great Witch Bezella? That almost sounds too obvious.
The story dictates the fate of an entire town, and now a so-called Great Witch named Bezella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries.
But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we gonna find any evidence?
You know, I was drinking. How do you address a great witch? Hail to thee, oh magnificent magical one. Or maybe just, what's up, witchy baby?
What difference would it make? She's called a great witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet.
I've been thinking, this story has the exact same setup as ReZero, except I don't hate it. I believe I've thought of a solution to our problem. It's actually rather simple.
We
Professor...
go back to London.
I mean, fuck this bitch, am I right? Allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces. You, me, Luke, and that's it.
He's right. We've come this far. There's no way we're just going to give up on Espella. Okay, I'm on board. I look forward to teaming up with you, Professor. No.
Me too,
no.
Luke. Me too, Maya.
Good job being polite, Luke. We'll ditch her somewhere
Smile
later.
and nod, boy.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story, one dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands.